Okay, today we're dealing with some knife drills and some knife defense. It's a pretty valid topic, considering the climate in society at the moment with knife attacks and these sorts of things occurring on a regular basis. You look at the newspaper, you know, just once a week you'll see a knife attack of some description. So the unfortunate thing about knife attack is it's extremely dangerous. For me, if someone pulled a knife, it'd be more threatened than having a gun pulled at me. So that's just me speaking personally. But
why is that so?
Just because you have that live blade available straight at you. For me, I see a person who pulls a. I guess it's our society and such that handguns are pretty rare as far as normal attacks go. Someone pulls a knife, they're pretty generally prepared to use them. So, and it's so quick and so devastating very quickly. So there's a saying with the knife that the closer a knife gets to you, the thirstier it gets. All right. So the first line of defense is always try to get out of there. Don't try to ever fight someone or defend someone with a knife. All this stuff that I teach you today is more about plan B, plan C, plan D. If you cannot get out of that situation. Now, when I talk plan A, what would plan A be? Try to run away. Okay. However, if I've got a knife and Kristen's the victim, how capable is she to run away from me? If I'm really wanting to rob her or, you know, get her with this knife, it's not really a valid situation for Kristen to get away from me if I've got a knife. In fact, any of you at this range, if I've come, you know, you guys are walking through the park, I jump out from behind a tree to give me your wallet. If I'm standing this far away from you, you guys try to turn and run, how quickly can I bridge that gap and get after you? So it's potentially a very dangerous situation. All right. So often the time you do have to actually deal with this person. All right. Now, whenever you are confronted with any type of attack, a lot of things rush through your head. Adrenaline starts pumping through your body. A lot of your fine motor skills and things will start breaking down. So a lot of the techniques that we have to learn cannot be hugely technical. They have to be gross motor movements. So you need to be able to perform them under really stressful situations. Okay, because anything that becomes too technical will just go out the window and you won't be able to apply in real situation. All right, so a lot of the techniques we're going to learn today are going to be based in some of the stuff that you've already done. All right, some of you may have done some of these drills before with me. Some of you may not have, but we'll look into that as we start. Now, what we'll do is we're going to pair up. It's great, we've got 6 people today, so everyone will have a partner. We'll grab a partner. What do you think the 2 most used knife attacks are? Strokes, attacks, what type of? Yeah, maybe a stab, maybe a slash. Yeah, you think those 2? Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably the most common are the stab and the stab. All right. However, you can't bank on these things. You never know what's going to happen. So, generally, we look at about 6 different types of strikes. 4 if you want to make it easier. Okay. 1. Okay. 2. 3. 4. Okay, that's pretty much it. A forehand slash, a backhand slash, a straight stab, and a downward stab. Okay. Probably the straight thrust is the most used. Okay. So what we'll do is, look, there's two methods you can use to defend a knife. Some advocate traumatize the arm that has the knife and then execute on a technique, and I can demonstrate this by using John for a second. Now, this one is for all and good if you're quite strong, okay? So if John is doing the stab at me, boom. Now, you felt that through your wrist, yeah? I'm traumatizing the top of his arm. I'm hitting the nerve down through the wrist and from the thumb. Yeah, I'm also, you know, really hitting it here, right on the top of the thumb, and then hitting here. Okay, I'm trying to keep my body out of the way, and because he can hit too with this hand. Don't ever think that just because he has a knife, he's not going to use this hand. He's going to be grabbing, striking. A lot of times people aren't thinking about these things. He can kick, he can do whatever he wants, but he's got a knife as well. He might have another knife in his back pocket. He might have two knives, who knows? But okay, that's one method. Now, this method's fine and good. However, we're going to bring it back to you again, because if Kristen's dealing with a guy who's a lot bigger and stronger with her, for her to traumatize his arm is much harder. Much harder for her to deal with. So, and it's not as efficient, you understand? So now, rather than try to traumatize and punch with force to try to really hurt this guy, we're going to be more subtle. So you keep your hands in, stab, or stab with the fingers. All right, now there's downsides to this type of attack as well, because it's more specific to the target. Not always easy to get those targets when you're boom, 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 your heart is pumping, you know. However, it is more efficient, and that's what we have to be looking at, okay? Because again, even if I'm attacked by someone who's smaller and weaker than me, I can try to traumatize this opponent, but if he's got a buddy just standing over there, I don't want to be mucking around for too long dealing with one. I want to try to, as I said, be as efficient as possible, deal with this guy, incapacitate him, and then either deal with that other person or get out of that situation. All right? So you can think about both, the traumatizing one, but what we're going to start with is just a redirection and a pressure point strike. And we're not going to muck around. We're not going to try to wrestle and subdue. Again, the more you try to deal by subduing an opponent, why would you try to subdue? You're gonna hold him down and call the police? While he's thrashing around underneath you? All right, Kristen tried to hold down Andrew. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna be able to get himself back up onto his feet. Okay, it's all right if you're in an industry that is, you know, the police or security or whatever. You need to know how to do this sort of stuff, put handcuffs on people, all this stuff. But for us, we don't need to do that. We need to stun this person and get the hell out of there. All right. Now, you can just come back over here. All right. Once we get away, once we're running, they may get up. They may come after us. What do we need to do?
Keep running.
Yeah.
Get ready to counterattack.
Get ready to counterattack? Yep. Okay, look. You try to find friends. Try to find friends. Now, what do I mean by that? Friends can be anything. John's got a friend right behind him on the ground. Look at it, John. Pick it up for me. Yep, that's all right. Look, give it to me. Even though it's just a soft piece of bark.
Yeah. I watched a movie last night and he used that rolled up bit of paper against.
That's right. Anyone want to come over and feel how that feels on you? In the face, in the eye? All right, that's a friend. Piece of bark. Okay? That tree there, that's a friend. That tree there is a friend. That park bench is a friend. The bark on the ground there, that's friends. Anything that you can use, you get a handful of bark, a twig like I just had. The tree, what I mean by the tree is get yourself but on the other side of something. A car, a wheelie bin, hold a wheelie bin in front of them, keep the wheelie bin in front of them. All right. You have to assume you're going to get some type of injury when you're dealing with a knife. A cut on the arm, a cut on the hand. It's not about the superficial cut, it's about surviving the whole situation. Okay? And it's about 80% likely that you are going to get some sort of superficial cut. We want to minimize the damage as much as possible. All right. Now, when you see your own blood, that's another thing that's going to bring you trauma. If you get cut on the arm and you start bleeding, you need to, again, you cannot prepare yourself for this type of situation. All right. You want to try to concentrate on your breathing, keeping your heart rate down, trying to stay as calm as possible. These are things that, you know, are going through your head at 100 miles, 1,000 miles an hour when you're in these sorts of situations. All right. Another few things you can take into account is knowing what to do if you are stab badly, what do you do? Apply pressure? What if you don't have someone there?
Still apply pressure.
Good. All right. So, and how do you? What are you going to stand up and apply pressure like this?
Yeah.
Lay down. Put your legs up. Put your knees up. What are you going to do then?
Scream like a little buggery.
Or maybe being cut in the throat. You need to have your phone automatically programmed for emergency numbers. All right. If you're in stress, you're not going to be thinking about, you know, ringing people. You want something that you can just punch in and go, help me on wherever. Okay. All right. So these are just some of the things you can do to prepare yourself for situations. Again, we're not looking at going out and looking for people to fight with knives, but if something like this does happen, and as I was saying at the very beginning, it's so prevalent in society today, that if something like this does happen, you need to have plan A, plan B. And this is what we're doing here today, looking at plan B, plan C. And part of these plans is having these sorts of things in place, so if something like this does happen, you can fall back on them. Okay. All right. So first of all, let's we'll grab a partner and we'll start with the straight stab. The straight stab. Now, just like the leading punch, we're going to just redirect that line. We're going to just step off the line of force. So hold on, yeah. As he stab at you, step off and hit here. It can be a flick, or a poke. All right. Push, and go. You don't have to push him by the side of the head. The reason I do that is because it's going to affect his balance a lot if you attack the head. The push to the head is also the strike to the head. All right. The other point that you control when you're doing this is as he stab, you're here, okay? You control the arm. You control the arm at the elbow, so he can't be coming back into you, you understand? All right? As soon as you push a person, you use them as a springboard. So as you're doing this as a drill, one, just you cover the shoulder, you know, you can just do it the shoulder and the elbow. But as I push him, I'm pushing him to go. You understand? I'm using him as a springboard, because whenever you push off something, you have a certain amount of kickback that comes back on you. It's like when you do a push-up off a wall. You push yourself off the wall. So that's the same thing. You push them, you springboard off them. All right, so let's grab a knife. Grab a partner. You guys. Okay. All right, good. All right, how do we hold our hands? Some of you guys have got your hands down. Some of you guys are putting your hands out. Don't put your hands out like this. Because you're going to cut your hand and cut your wrist, okay? Protect your targets, bring them into the center. All right, it's like so, okay? Now from here, you can cover anything from here. But don't put your hands out. Don't put your hands out like this, because he's going to start slicing at your hands, okay? Now, John, grab the knife. So you're in like this. Okay, I don't want you to get too fancy with the movement. I don't want you to try to do a Chun style coming underneath, because you're going to stab for your body, all right, or your throat. But look, don't get underneath here. As soon as the knife is coming at you, you're straight here, all right? Now, we're going to put an extra move in now, so it's going to be 2 strikes, all right? The first one is here, chop, then hit, push him away, all right? Okay, so it's the straight, you're from here, cover, poke, cover, hit. That can also be a poke or a chop. All right, so your targets, just face me, yeah. The targets will be here, bridge of the nose, the eye, the throat. You can even be hitting the temple. You can be using a phoenix, so you're using the point of your knuckle. Again, but this takes mucking around. If you're not used to doing any of this stuff, it's a waste of time. You may just be clubbing the guy with your fist. Again, gross motor movement, okay? But open, close, that's pretty much it. Don't muck around with any of this stuff unless you've really practiced it and really trained it for a long time and you feel comfortable with it. All right? So, you're stepping off, hit, cover. All right? Push.